Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's recipe, I am making a homemade Fireman's chili. Now this recipe was inspired by my good friend Rich Cordero, a retired fireman, and he used to make this in the firehouse for all the guys. It's a really good recipe, guys. I'm changing it up just a little bit. I'm using a homemade chili seasoning instead of store-bought, and I think it turned out super. So I'm Rockin' Robin, and I'm going to show you how to do it right after this. I'm going to start our recipe today by going over the ingredients for our chili seasoning blend. So I'm using some Ancho Chili powder, which gives it a nice smoky flavor, some smoked paprika, some dried parsley, and some basil, red chili flakes, chili powder, ground cumin, minced onion, chopped garlic, oregano, some pepper, and some salt. So now for the rest of our ingredients. We're going to need some ground beef. I actually got a cut that's extra coarse, and so the meat will not crumble so much. We need some mild Italian sausage. And what I really like about this recipe, guys, is the addition of chorizo. It really is a nice little extra flavor that you get from it. Now, what is chorizo, in case you're wondering, is just a Spanish-style sausage. And it has that smoky flavor that I really like. And so mine here are still in the casing, and so we need to remove that before we cook it. We'll also need some minced garlic. We'll need some diced red bell pepper, some diced yellow onion. Now for the beans, I'm using pinto beans, and I had the time, so I went ahead and soaked my beans overnight for 24 hours, and then I rinsed them and I placed them on the stove and boiled them for about an hour or until they soften up. Or you can use canned beans if you don't have the time or the desire to do that. We'll also need some roasted diced tomato. This is just canned tomato. And for our liquids, I'm using some chicken broth and some beer. So we're going to start the recipe by placing all of the spices and herbs into a bowl and just mix it up so it's ready when we're ready to add it to our chili. Now guys, remember, to get the written recipe for this recipe, you want to go below the video down where it says show more and click that button, and you'll see the written recipe and all kinds of other information regarding my social media and different links. So check that out. Once we have our chili seasoning blend mixed up, we're ready to start cooking the rest of our ingredients. So what we'll do is take a large frying pan and we'll place our Italian sausage and our ground beef into the pan and cook it over medium-high heat. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt in there just to, give that layer of flavor in there. And once that's done, we'll drain it, and then I'm going to place this mixture into a stock pot. Then we can move into our chorizo. First, we got to remove the casing, and then we'll just fry it up just as is, and it'll take about 5 minutes to cook it. And you'll notice there won't be a whole lot of fat in it, and so I don't worry about draining that out. But you'll notice, I wanted to show you guys how the texture changes, so you know it's done. It gets crumbly after it cooks for 5 minutes or so. So then we'll add that to the stock pot as well. Next, we're cooking our onions in the same pan as the chorizo, and I'm not even going to clean it out. I'm going to cook the onions right in that just to get some extra flavor. I'm going to add just a little bit more olive oil to the pan. And we're going to saute these for 15 to 20 minutes. Now my temperature's on medium. I'm going to start it out a little higher, get things going, and then I'm going to turn it down as it cooks. And this caramelization is what we're looking for here. Not a lot, but just a little bit. We're going to really soften these up and just bring out more flavor. So here's our onions after about 20 minutes. Right now the temperature's on low heat, and I turned it down to low after about 10 minutes of cooking because it was just too hot and I don't want it to burn. So now it's time to add the diced up bell peppers, and we're going to saute these for 5 minutes. The bell peppers softened up. Now we're going to add the garlic and saute this for 1 minute more. All right, so now we'll place this and everything else into our stock pot. All right guys, so everything now is going to go into the stock pot, like I said, except for the beans. Now I'm not going to put those in there yet because, this is the beer by the way, I don't want the beans to get mushy. And they're already cooked, so I'm gonna let this simmer for about an hour. The longer you go, guys, the better it's gonna taste. That was the diced up roasted tomatoes. This is chicken broth. And now for the important part is the seasoning. And I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of our mixture here. I would add 3 to 4 to this, just depending on your taste. So after it simmers for, say, half an hour, I'm gonna taste it again, and then I can adjust for salt and seasoning. So I'm gonna bring this up to a boil, and then we're gonna lower it, cover it, and simmer it. The beans have been simmering now for about a half an hour. It's time to taste what's going on in here and see if we need to add any seasonings, any more of that chili seasoning blend that I made, or salt, or, you know, pepper, whatever. Nope, I think it's perfect. I'm gonna go with that. So anywhere between 3 and 4 tablespoons of that. And now I'm gonna add the beans. Stir that in, and in about a half an hour more, we can serve this up. All right, guys, our chili is done. It's been simmering for about an hour, which, you know, the longer you go, the better it's gonna taste. And this recipe, you know, it filled this pot up, you know, 2/3 of the way, and you can certainly double it, you can triple it, you could even quadruple it. It'll work. It's just great for parties. What I would like to do is put it in a crock pot, you know, make a nice big batch, put it in a crock pot, serve it to your guest, and it stays hot throughout the whole time, and it keeps simmering those flavors. It's a great combination. All right, so here, let me show you this. So I've got some cornbread here. What a better, you know, what a better way to serve it up. I'm gonna give it a taste. Man, that is really good. That's gonna be my lunch. That is delicious, guys. Guys, I hope you'll try the recipe. If you do, you know, leave me a comment, let me know how you like it, and share it. You know, if you think there's somebody who might enjoy it, I think you're gonna like this Fireman chili. It's really right on. It's got some heat to it, and this is perfect, I think, for just about anybody the way it is. It's got a little bit of heat to it, but not too much, not overpowering. So thanks again for watching, everybody. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and click that link up there, and you'll be notified every week when a new video comes out. And if you have any questions or comments for me, you know, be sure and leave them down below in the comment section. And yeah, I try to answer just about everybody's question, and I really appreciate your guys' support. So thanks again. We'll see you next time.